Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. You might want to sit down for this one because it's a game changer, and it's been buzzing around the NFL circles for a while now. Rumors are swirling about a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the landscape of the AFC, and it's got the Bills fans talking more than ever. Word on the street is that the Detroit Lions might be considering shipping off Penei Sewell. Yes, the Pro Bowl caliber tackle from Oregon, to the Bills in exchange for some draft picks and an edge rusher. And if this deal goes down, it could mean a lot more than just a change of scenery for Sewell. It could be the spark that elevates the Bills' offensive line to a whole new level, especially at a time when protecting Josh Allen is more critical than ever. Right now, the Lions, sitting at 8-5, are in a tricky spot. Their defense, which is allowing about 25 points per game, isn't quite living up to expectations, and their offensive line has been a bit of a roller coaster. They're also facing some cap constraints, with around $17 million in space, and are looking to rebuild their secondary after a series of concussions and injuries, including 5 in the secondary over the past few weeks. The Lions are also eyeing a deep playoff run, but their current offensive line situation, especially with Goff under pressure, has been a concern. They've given up 39 sacks so far, and their offense has been inconsistent, which is why some NFL insiders believe they're open to trading Sewell, a young, dominant tackle with a PFF grade of 96. 4 in 2025, ranking among the top offensive tackles in the league. Now let's talk about Sewell himself, because this isn't just some average tackle. He's a beast, standing 6'5" and weighing around 335 pounds. Over his career, he's proved himself as one of the best at his position, with a PFF overall grade of 94, which puts him in the top tier across the league. His run blocking is elite with a 98-2 grade, and he's also solid in pass protection with a 92 grade. In 2025 alone, he's allowed just 2 sacks and 7 hits in 13 games, maintaining an 83% win rate on his assignments. That kind of consistency is rare, especially at his age. His stats are impressive, over 155 pancakes in his career, and in 2025 he's been injury-free, playing every snap. His film shows a player who's technically sound, powerful, and incredibly reliable. The potential fit for the Bills, if this trade happens, is huge. Sewell would anchor the offensive line alongside Dion Dawkins, creating a formidable front that could protect Allen better and open up running lanes that have been somewhat inconsistent this season. Buffalo's offensive line, currently ranked around 15th by PFF, would see a significant boost with Sewell in the fold. His presence could cut sacks in half, from 36 down to around 20, which would be a massive improvement. That's not just about protecting Allen. It's about giving the Bills' offense the consistency and stability needed to dominate in crucial moments. Plus, Sewell's ability to generate yards after contact on runs, with over 910 yards YAC in his career, would add a new dimension to Buffalo's ground game. There's also the factor of cap space and strategic rebuilding. The Lions, with their playoff hopes hanging by a thread, are looking to bolster their defense and rebuild their offensive line for the future. Trading Sewell, at a cap hit of around $33 million, and with the team sitting at a precarious 19th in defensive DVOA, makes sense. They're considering a rebuild, especially with Goff's recent slump and the pressure mounting on their offense. The possibility of acquiring draft capital and an edge rusher, perhaps someone to complement their young defense, is an attractive option for Detroit. They're also looking at the bigger picture, trying to get younger and more flexible financially. So what does this mean for the Bills? Well, if Buffalo manages to land Sewell, it's not just about filling a need. It's about transforming the entire offensive outlook. With Sewell protecting Allen, the Bills could see a reduction in sacks and pressures, enabling Allen to extend plays and make more explosive throws. This upgrade would likely lead to a more balanced attack, with the run game benefiting from Sewell's elite blocking and the passing game gaining more time to develop downfield. Buffalo's offensive efficiency could skyrocket, especially in the red zone, where they've struggled at times this season. A Sewell addition could boost their red zone scoring rate from around 59% to over 74%, turning more drives into touchdowns. And let's not forget the playoff implications. With Super Bowl odds already improving from plus 800 to plus 450, the Bills' championship window could open even wider with Sewell in the fold. His grade of 98. 2 in run blocking, and his ability to generate big plays in the trenches during the playoffs, with a plus 23% boost in run efficiency, would make Buffalo a nightmare for defenses. It's not far-fetched to imagine that Sewell could be the X factor that pushes the Bills past their rivals and helps them claim another Super Bowl appearance. He's the kind of player who can elevate an entire team, especially in high-pressure situations, and for Bills fans, that's exactly the kind of addition they've been dreaming about. Of course, the trade isn't guaranteed, and there are still questions about whether the Lions will pull the trigger, especially considering their current rebuild mode. But the signs point to a possible shift in the NFL's power dynamics, with Buffalo standing to benefit immensely. Sewell's youth, talent, and ability to impact both the running and passing game make him a perfect fit for the Bills' future plans. His addition could also serve as a statement to the rest of the league. Buffalo is serious about winning now and in the years to come. With the offensive line as a cornerstone of their success, having Sewell anchoring that unit would be a huge step forward. Think about it. The Bills have always been known for their explosive offense, led by Allen's arm and their talented skill players. But in recent seasons, their offensive line has had its moments of inconsistency, especially with injuries to Dion Dawkins and Spencer Brown. Sewell's arrival would act as a stabilizer, allowing the Bills to run more effectively and giving Allen the extra time he needs to pick apart defenses. It's the kind of upgrade that can turn a good team into a championship-caliber squad. And if Buffalo can get this deal done before the deadline or during the offseason, it could set the stage for a dominant run in the AFC. Looking at the bigger picture, this trade also makes sense for the Lions from a strategic standpoint. They're in a bit of a rebuild, and with their playoff hopes fading, moving Sewell might be their best move to gather assets and reset their roster. The NFL is all about the trenches, and Sewell, with his elite grades and proven durability, is a valuable piece. The Lions might be betting on the draft and free agency to shore up their secondary and defensive line, freeing up cap space and assets to build around Jared Goff and their young core. In the end, it all comes down to timing and whether the Lions decide to strike now. If they do, the Bills could swoop in and secure a franchise-altering talent. Sewell would instantly become a cornerstone of Buffalo's offensive line for years to come, embodying that multi-phase, multi-season vision that the Bills have always aimed for. The prospect of adding Sewell to the mix is exciting for fans who crave that extra edge, that extra push to finally get over the hump and make a deep playoff run. Buffalo's offensive line, which currently ranks around 15th, would leap into the top tier with Sewell, and the entire offense would breathe a little easier, knowing they have one of the best tackles in the league protecting their QB. So fans, keep an eye on this developing story because if it materializes, it'll be one of the biggest moves of the season, and the ripple effects will be felt across the AFC. The Bills could be on the cusp of something special, and with Sewell in their lineup, their Super Bowl aspirations might just become a reality sooner than we think. It's a bold move, a statement of intent, and a clear sign that Buffalo isn't messing around when it comes to winning championships. The future is bright, and this potential trade could be the spark that ignites the Bills' next great era. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Sewell is the right piece to help Buffalo finally get over the hump and chase that elusive Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills community. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news. We're in this together, and with every bit of info, every rumor, we're building that excitement for what's to come. Let's keep the passion alive and hope that this story has a happy ending, one that ends with Bills fans celebrating another Super Bowl appearance.